Kentucky News, 10/2/2013, October the 2nd. First of all Kentuckians, if you're part of the 640,000 people that has no health care, get on KYNECT, KYNECT, Connect. It's like KY, like Kentucky, but Connect, KYNECT. Google it, it'll go straight to it, and sign up. Get that, fill out an account, get a password, a username, and then fill out, some health insurance forms. Try to get yourself some health care. You should sign up, get on the rolls. That way, put more pressure on the Republicans to finally fund Obamacare. So get health care, right? So get some health care, and some, health care. I was gonna do a thing there. I'm vouching out on that one. But yeah, get some health care. Kentucky News. So, okay, October 2nd. There was a missing North Texas man with grandkids. He was spotted in Kentucky. He was like driving, everywhere. 57-year-old William Gomez, 8-year-old Dominique, 7-year-old Marcus. So you have 3 Hispanic folks from Texas driving around, and I guess he's driving around, wondering if her husband's issues with memory loss are to blame for the disappearance. Said they was taking the kids to the park and the mall at 2 p.m. and never returned home. They think he might be confused. So he's not doing anything wrong. He's missing. His loved ones want to see them. They said that he drove through Little Rock, Arkansas and Tennessee, and he passed through Paducah. So he had a $21 charge at Sears in Paducah. And he said that Gomez was with the children in the store buying underwear. He reportedly asked the clerk for directions back to Dallas. So he could just be lost, and he could just be driving away. So this could be like a whole non-story. If you see this man, call the police or don't, because it seems like it's a nothing story. But there's always weird stuff that's happening like that with Kentucky. There's always some weird Kentuckian or something to do. There's always a Kentucky connection between bizarre shit that happens. Here's this guy was driving in Kentucky, but it's an Indiana man right across the river at Branchville, Indiana. So he actually is a prison health management dude. He's a doctor. He works for the Corazon Correctional Health Care. So he's a doctor in a prison. So this fucking prison guard, and this goes on with the whole prison industrial complex. Military industrial complex, and the security, the Homeland Security complex. I don't know. So you have, this militarism that's rampant throughout, the United States, but it also kind of connects to the Myers Middle School. So here in Louisville, you got Myers Middle School, the JCPS. Is thinking about in 2 weeks of turning Myers Middle School into a recruiting tool for the Army. They're trying to turn our, young people who go to Myers Middle School into little soldiers. And this is before they even become soldiers, and it's also before, they know who they are. They're able to even develop, their minds are still, very fresh. And they're just supposed to, just learn how to be killing machines, how to be unfeeling, unempathetic killing machines. And so while we're forcing our babies to become, men or, women, they are strong, unfeeling robots, unfeeling, caring, murdering robots. Not only is it not natural, but you're driving them to suicide. You're driving them to depression. You're driving them, insane. You're putting all this pressure on them to be the opposite of who they actually are when they know who they are, or they don't know who they are, and you're putting the pressure to go one direction. How do they know, so they have this whole, this actually happened. The reason I'm not just mentioning this, because there was a teen that had killed himself in Louisville. So actually I'm going to jump the story and go back to the doctor who was driving in Kentucky. So a Kentucky teen accidentally hangs himself, pulled a prank with Halloween noose decoration. So Jordan Moreland, 16 of Louisville, is attempting to scare his little sister when he accidentally hanged himself with a noose his family put up as a Halloween decoration. By Philip Caulfield, New York Daily News. So a Halloween prank led to heartbreak for a Kentucky family. Teenage son accidentally hanged himself for trying to scare his little sister. Jordan Moreland, 16, of Louisville, died early Monday after falling into a coma following the horrific accident. His grieving mother, Ginger Rodriguez, said Jordan tried to play a prank on his sister on Sunday by slipping his head through a noose they hung in the front yard for Halloween. Rodriguez says she was doing laundry when her daughter came inside and said Jordan was hanging from a tree and not moving. I said he was probably playing a prank on you because he was pranking on us on other things that day, putting up Halloween decorations. Rodriguez told WAS 11. And she said, no, he's not moving, and he's got drool hanging from his mouth. I ran out and his back was facing me, she said. When I turned him around, I couldn't save him. I couldn't lift him up. He was hung. Paramedics rushed to the boy at a local hospital. He was placed on life support. He died from organ failure at around 8 a.m. Monday, 12 hours after the accident. Investigators declared the death in accident, saying the boy became disoriented after putting the noose around his neck and passed out after it tightened. It's saying that it's an accident, but it says nothing of what actually led up to it. It did say he was like clowning around, so maybe it could have been playing a trick, but you know, it also could not have been. He could have been, you know, depressed. The military rates, the suicide rates are becoming, you know, just as high as the actual casualty rates overseas. So, you know, you got our boys coming home from overseas, killing themselves. There's Gadsden County, where I came from. There was like just suicides all over the place. There was like 3 of them when I was in a freshman in high school. And then there's one recently, and there's just actually all over the place. People always, Hunter S. Thompson's got lots of suicides, no one for mental health. So my point being is this unfortunate thing, and I guess you don't know 100% if it was because of, you know, he was depressed or not, but I could totally understand, I could see the connection with him going to a, you know, a rigorous cadet ROTC type school, that he has no, you know, what he thought and what he, you know, felt was best did not matter. So his insides did not matter. You tell a boy not to cry when he feels sad, what do you want to do? He's only allowed to be mad, or he's allowed to be emotionless. He can't have any other feelings. And, you know, that's really unfortunate, because if he would just cry, maybe, you know, he could have saved his own life. And, so, you know, that's one example here, which, you know, could or could not be, but I mean, there's a lot of other, it shows that there's a bigger problem, even if that one example wasn't specific. He did go out there, so I think it's a possible lead. It's a connection worth exploring. Now back to the doctor. Now this doctor, he's suspended from his company because he was arrested on Monday. Kentucky police said another driver captured cell phone video of the doctor pulling a gun on the interstate and shooting it at the man's car. So a driver approached Kentucky State Police. He said he was driving down Interstate 75 on Sunday and he saw another car driving recklessly. The man told police he pulled out his cell phone to get on video, and that's when the driver, Dobbins, pulled out his gun and fired a shot at the other vehicle. Kentucky State Police said Dobbins was arrested at the correctional facility. He works in Branchville, Indiana. Dobbins will be extradited to Kentucky, where he will be officially charged. Officials said this unfortunate incident involving one of our employees' spokesperson. So I wonder if he's actually like in their jail. He's being extradited because it's, you know, going from one state to another state. They have this reciprocal agreement. There are no what's that, Julian Assange, asylums. You can't find asylum, but actually, here's a little bit of Kentucky history. William Justice Goldberg was a German Kentuckian who became governor for a day in 1900 in Kentucky and got shot by William S. Taylor's men. Now, it can never be pointed on William S. Taylor, but since he was the one who was the gain the most, then basically, you know, the blame did fall on him, so he fled to Indianapolis, I think, the capital of Indiana, and he stayed. He fled to Indianapolis, and the asylum laws, they would not let him go back. He was also a Confederate. He was with Basil Duke and John Hunt Morgan and all them fuckers. So, you know, you got this fucking piece of shit trash, you know, this fucking low-life motherfucker, you know, that goes into Indiana and he is protected, but then you get, you know, this low power, low authority piece of shit and they extradited him like it's nothing. Which is probably, that's how it goes. If you're more powerful, if you got more money, if you got influence, if you're popular, maybe if you're famous or something, you'll get a better treatment. Maybe not, who knows. Typically, that's how it happens, right? So, yeah, so this is happening on Interstate 75 in Madison County, Kentucky on Sunday. So the guy's driving all recklessly, and he points out a cell phone to show that he's recklessly, and then the dude's fucking pulling out the gun, just shooting at people. That's the fucking newser, though. There was a Kentucky man, Kentucky people that stopped him. So he was just on our interstate. So he just driving, woo! I'm in fucking Kentucky, I'm in Indiana, driving Kentucky, who gives a shit? Pow, 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 shoot my gun. It's like, damn, dude. We don't even fucking act like, what the fuck? This ain't motherfucking laws in vain. What the Rand Paul, this is my last thing I will talk about. The presidential speculation is good for Kentucky. Senator Rand Paul said on Tuesday he thinks his high profile is good for Kentucky. Speculation of a possible presidential won't be detrimental. He's right, it will spur conversations and debates, and people will be looking more at his state and what's going on with their state. So, I agree with him. Him trying to stop Obamacare is bullshit. They're getting attention, and hopefully they just fucking go, bow back down and shit and say, nah, fuck this shit. This article quotes Rand fucking Paul, I guess, Bowling Green's his hometown. He's like, I'm home every weekend. So he comes back home every fucking weekend. He goes to his kids' soccer games and his kids' golf matches, and he goes to church every Sunday in his hometown. So, he's still going to church in Bowling Green, going to soccer games and his kids' golf matches. So he's still, good old family man. But if you want to, put some political pressure, those are his spots in Bowling Green. You find his church, his kids' soccer games, and kids' golf matches. And if your kids are with his kids, you can influence it that way. Tell your kid, especially if he's got some poor fucking kid friends. Tell some of the poor fucking kid friends to tell Rand Paul's kids, hey, we need some goddamn fucking health care. We're dying out here. What the fuck is your daddy's problem? Maybe not with all the cussing, but maybe with the cussing. That'd be a good way to pass the message along. Because it's like, ooh, you didn't say the F word. Yeah, so they're talking about he's going all over the place, he's making all these speeches, but he's not, in Kentucky right now, so it's like, hey, you're leaving out Kentucky. Not really, not true. So yeah, get some healthcare, Kentucky. If you do have any Halloween decorations out there, do not, put your neck into a thing that looks like a noose and jump. It's weird, very, very weird prank. So don't do that, and if you're a male and you're in a military school and you're having some, issues with depression or anxiety or problems at home or problems at school or problems with other students or anything, talk to somebody, get a counselor and talk to somebody. There's nothing wrong with talking to a counselor. In fact, it's very healthy, and it's smart to talk to a professional about your issues instead of some fucking random assholes that you're always talking to. Actually talk to a professional who's been trained and has studied this stuff. That's a good idea. Talk to a professional. Don't. Suicide's never the answer. You have a right to kill yourself, but it basically says you're the most selfish person in the world. You don't give a fuck about what anyone else thought of you, if you really, whether or not you were on this planet or not. Stay awesome, Kentucky. I don't know. Go Shawnee. Let's become Shawnee. Viva la Revolution. Alright, peace out, Kentucky.